Okay, yeah, we're on. Stop. I didn't hit that extra little key, but it looks like we're running. I'm on air.
All
hey,
right.
welcome everybody.
Welcome. Welcome in. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. Yes, that is it's not a polar bear, a little miniature polar bear. It is a very cute white Shiba Inu, and I don't think it's going to be at Petland of Iowa City. By the time you hear this on Sunday, maybe, just maybe it is, but very, very cute. I was talking about how this, Ron's been coming for 4 years or so, and this is one of the top 5 for me that's ever been here. It's just something about it, just super, super cute. Shiba Inu here, and that's the breed of the week. We'll talk about that. We'll talk more training, how to get your dog to stop biting. So we've got that coming your way. We also do have a schnoodle in studio too, so we could talk about that breed too, just so you can get a little idea what that's about. And then also we'll talk about a brand new food. It is top end food here. All the foods at Petland are higher end foods, but this one is even on the next level up, and Ron will explain why and what that food is all about. So Ron, how you doing today?
We're doing very good. We've got some active puppies in here.
Yes, they are, aren't they? They already stole my mouse. They've been pulling out cords.
Like that. Live on air, and also, where's my mouse?
Where's my mouse? All of a sudden, it was gone. They just ripped it off the table and went down, and they were having fun with it. So yeah, they have all kinds of energy, and well, there you go. On cue, they start barking, and so you could check them out. We'll talk about both breeds. I think it'd be interesting just to hear about the schnoodle too. Is Schnauzer and a poodle?
And a poodle.
Okay.
Schnauzer and a poodle.
Okay. And the Shiba Inu is a purebred, which is just adorable. So pictures are online on Facebook if you want to see that. And we'll dive into some of these topics today as we get you up to date with the pet show, the Positively Petland Show. I am a little out of my element, just not feeling the best today. So I'll probably let Ron take over for most of it, but
should I prompt you?
I'll chime in here.
The pet story of the week.
Yes,
we
do need the amazing.
Wait, I might be able to dub in for the big guy, voice guy. How's he feeling?
He's okay. He's healthy and good to go. So we can get him going in just a second here. But yeah, we do have to get the amazing pet story of the week. We'll do that, and we'll get to the breed of the week and have some fun here with the amazing pet story of the week right now. So let's do that. This is kind of a good one here from Wisconsin, just our friends to the northeast. Here we go.
It's time for the amazing pet story of the week.
Thank you. Janesville, Wisconsin.
Well, he kind of gave you some gestures over there, mimicking your fever and like taunting you and everything.
Yeah,
he does that, and he sounds so like natural and normal every time. But he's got something going on in the background.
He says a sore throat wouldn't stop him because he's got a big voice. All right, so here we go. This one goes to Janesville, Wisconsin. A couple's crediting their 3-legged dog with saving them from an armed robber who broke into their Wisconsin home. The home invasion happened with Bob Stencil and Darcy Cherry at their home, and the unanswered prayer came from their 15-year-old dog, Levi, would-be robber got into their home, and the couple had forgotten to lock their door, and the 3-legged dog began to bark, urging the person to leave. A bullet was fired by the home invader, the intruder, and they ended up grazing the dog's head, but did not end up hurting the dog. They actually were able to get out of the home and be safe with that, and they are looking for that suspect. This literally just happened the other day, so kind of an interesting story there from Janesville, Wisconsin. Levi saving a family from a home invasion and almost nearly taking a bullet too from them. So there you go. That's your story, the amazing pet story of the week. When we come back, we will talk more about what's happening in the world of pets. We'll talk to Ron about the breed of the week, which is the Shiba Inu. We'll talk about training and how to stop your dog from biting. And then a very high-end food called Orijen. We'll tell you what that's about. Ron, as we go to break, tell us about your store.
We're Petland of Iowa City. We're known to have pets throughout the store. We've got puppies. We've got kittens right now. We have bunnies. We have guinea pigs, hamsters. Then you get into the reptiles and the fish and all sorts of stuff, birds. So come on in and play and find out what's right for your family. That's the question that we're always posing in our brain. What is the best pet for them? And so we do a lot of questioning and answering and playing and talking and all that kind of stuff. And you come up with something and you say, oh, maybe a puppy's not the right. I know everybody loves the puppies, but maybe there's something better for your family right now. Maybe there's got a little one and a lot of things going on, and maybe a hamster or a goldfish or a betta fish is the right pet for you. So we go through all that and have fun. All of our customers love the $5 nail trim. You can't beat a $5 nail trim. Our buy 10, get 1 free on all of our dog and cat food. That's a phenomenal bargain, and we track it for you, so there's no trouble to you on that. And then all the other 9,000 different products that we have in that store that you can choose from. We can ask us what our favorites are. We always love to do that because we will show you the golden nuggets throughout the store that just people rave about. We know that our dogs love them, and we would love to see your dog love them as well.
That's Petland of Iowa City, Lower Muscatine. Go check them out. We'll be right back. More after this. AM 800 KXIC. This is the Positively Petland Show on KXIC and KXIC.com. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. It's the Positively Petland Show, AM 800 KXIC. I'm Jake Capron. Ron Salzard here from Petland of Iowa City, talking pets, finding out what's happening in the world of pets. About to learn about a breed called the Shiba Inu, and we'll talk a little bit about the schnoodle here too. Just give that a little bit of time, and then we'll talk about how to train your dog and teach them not to bite. That's coming up here, plus Orijen. So let's get right into it. The Shiba Inu, tell us about it.
So Jay, stump the J.
The J, yeah.
Where does the Shiba Inu, what country?
China.
You're getting close. Just
Japan.
Japan.
Okay.
I figured you'd get there on first or second guess there. So it does date back a ways from primitive dogs in Japan. And the term Shiba Inu means brushwood in Japanese. And so this is a dog that was down in the brush and scavenging, looking for little things. AKC classifies it literally as a bird small game hunter, which so it's in that working dog, but in a very small size as far as working dog goes. The size of the Shiba Inu, 13.5 to 16.5 inches at the shoulders, 17 to 23 pounds. I have seen some 23 pounders out there. They're a little meaty, but it is a lot of energy packed into a smaller body. Although right now the schnoodle is outpacing that Shiba, which is kind of funny. The Shiba has its kind of coolness about it, I'm controlling the place, and then the schnoodle right now just comes like hauling by, and just knocks him off.
If you hear the pitter pattering running around, it's probably the schnoodle.
Oh yeah, right now the schnoodle rolled the Shiba Inu over,
nice,
and said, "I am in control." So let's see some more things about the Shiba Inu. They have what's called a double coat, so it's a very thick coat. And that is to protect them from weather and all that kind of stuff. So this is a dog that's not going to have an issue in the summertime or in the wintertime. In the summertime, I think, they go through a natural shed. So this is a shedding dog for sure. The Furminator is going to be your friend as well. So you can get those layers out quicker. So it's not just this long drawn out process of shedding through your house. And so the Furminator is going to work good. Good quality dog food will minimize that as well. But no, excuse me, had a customer in our store. This is years ago, and they were getting a Shiba Inu, and I remembered that they said this Shiba Inu is mellow, and I've never seen a mellow Shiba Inu before, and we've owned Shiba Inus, and this is really unique, and this is why we're getting this one. And I put them aside, and I said, look, I don't want you getting a Shiba Inu thinking it's going to be a mellow dog. This is definitely a higher energy dog. So know that it's a small body, but it packs a really strong punch as far as energy level and all that. And there's a lot of people out there looking for that.
Yeah, and I could tell you just by looking, watching these two, they're good little fits for each other too, because they do have a lot of energy.
These two are great.
Yep.
So that's a little bit about the Shiba Inu. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Exercise. They're so small, they will get quite a bit of their energy out within an apartment or condo or house. It is definitely going to want to go for walks or love to go for walks. So if you're that person that says, you know what, I don't quite feel like going for a walk every single day, but most days you're out there running around with them, I think this dog is right for you. It will get the energy out within your house. I'd be just throwing the ball around and stuff, and will get this guy going and get that energy out. But when you go outside on a regular basis, this guy's going to go, yeah, baby, I love going for walks, kind of a thing. Reading, don't go shy. If you're sensitive to shedding, I'm reading heavy seasonal shedding. I don't think I've ever read that for any other dog. It is a smaller dog, so while it's heavy shedding, you can get through it quicker with a Furminator like we talked about. But fairly easy care as far as overall the dog goes and all that. So
what colors are they?
Primarily you'll see sesame, red sesame colors, but they do come in black, tan, and we have a cream coated here in the studio. And this is, Sunday that we're airing this show. We're recording it back on Thursday. I hope you can see a Shiba Inu in our store, but I'm kind of feeling this guy's going to go home here within the next days before Sunday even arrives. So I will get more. So if you're interested in Shiba Inus, just call us up, 319-351-9451. Just be asked to be put on our breed request database, and then when we get one in, we give you a call right away just to alert you, and you can get into getting a Shiba Inu, or at least checking them out and seeing what they are like when they're being held right in your arms.
Cool. That's the Shiba Inu. And before we move on to training, just tell us about the Schnoodle a little bit.
So a Schnoodle is a Schnauzer and a Poodle. The Schnauzer, where does the Schnauzer originate from?
Germany.
Yeah. Is a non to less shedding breed. It is in that same size as a Shiba Inu as far as into those 20 pounds. These are miniature Schnauzers that we work with, and not the standard. The standard Schnauzers definitely get a lot bigger. I'm just looking through, the same kind of what did they design the Schnauzer for was that, the farm and going after the smaller vermin around the farm and all that kind of stuff. And so the Schnauzer has that kind of a background to it. Now coupled with a Poodle, you definitely have now a non-shedding dog. So you've got a less shedding dog with the Schnauzer, now even a lesser shedding dog. I always preface that, hey, all dogs shed. It's just they don't shed anywhere near as much. They shed as much as we do. The Poodle is also, the aspects of the Poodle coming into the Schnauzer is a really, really smart dog. Easy to train. And so you're bringing that into the Schnauzer as well, which is already a pretty good, easily trained dog as well. So a lot of good qualities that are all coming together in one dog. I think primarily why people will combine the Schnauzer with the Poodle is colors. You come up with, and we have in the studio, a beautiful face with little charcoal eyes and a little charcoal nose. When you look at this little dog, it melts your heart immediately. And so combining those two, I think, is primarily for just they look really, really pretty.
Yeah, they do. All right. Well, there you go. And now how about training these dogs, whatever breed it is? You had mentioned that some learned at different paces earlier.
Right. And so just a good recap. And if you wanted to go into more detail, how can they get a hold of the podcast?
KXIC.com. Just click the podcast page.
And I've gone on to Google. I go KXIC. I put podcast, and you'll get not only our show here on Positively Pets, but you'll get all the other shows that KXIC has to offer, and it's actually good listening and all that. So you can click down and see the Positively Petland show and just review the last couple of episodes. You can do that on your computer. You can do it on your phone at your leisure. And I'm going to go through in those episodes the rollover technique. That's the first step in training any dog. If it's a young puppy, it's really easy. If it's a little older dog, just be patient, be slow. You're not quite sure what they're going to do. If you got a little bit of a dog with a little temper, might try biting. And so that's why I say just go slow and cautious with those older dogs. With the puppies, this is easy stuff. You just roll them over, put the belly up. I always describe, put their head towards your belly button, but have their feet going straight up in your lap. So that the belly is up towards the sky or facing that way. By holding them in that situation, not letting them control you, as in turning over, you have to control them. Keep them in that position. You're demonstrating to them that you're in charge. This is setting you up for good training going forward. So again, you can review those last shows. You can come into the store and we'll demonstrate it to you. There are a lot of people that try this and go, it doesn't work on my dog. That's up to you whether it works or not. And we can show you what I mean by that. It is a friendly thing to do to the dog. It does not hurt the dog, but it does show them that you're in charge. And you do that in about 5 to 20-minute increments. You can do it 3 times a day or once a day, but do it over multiple days, and your dog will become more and more looking at you as, okay, you're in charge. What do you want me to do? Kind of a stance. So that's the belly up, first line of defense. Second thing is that you need to show the dog is how to reinforce positive behaviors. So I want them to go potty outside. I want them to learn to sit. I want them to learn to stay. I want them to do whatever it is, roll over, play dead, all these fun things that you can do. There's 3 things that you can do to show your dog that you love what they're doing right now. You encourage behaviors. First is the treat. Number 1 scientifically studied way to train your dog is with a treat. Second in line is scratching their jaw area. That tactile reinforcement right there. They've studied dogs enough to say, oh, they like that. That is something that you're communicating to them. Hey, I like what you're doing. And then the third thing is a reassuring voice. This is something they do learn from you. So if you're yelling, which you shouldn't yell at a dog, just know that it doesn't do anything good. It only can hurt the situation. That's not going to work. But if you have that, that's why we came up with the good dog, good dog. That is a reassuring voice that you'll reinforce over time. And again, that's the third thing in in priority order, that you can show your dog that that's a really good thing, whatever they're doing. I say do all 3. You do the treat, you do the scratching in the jaw, and you do the good dog, good dog. So if they're potting outside and you want to reinforce that, I want them to wait until they go outside. Right when they're pooping or peeing, they're squatting right there in front of you. You give them a treat. This is a treat, not a meal. Literally, a taste is all it takes. You give them the treat. You scratch their jaw while they're still doing it, and you go, good dog, all at the same time. And that is a way to really enforce positive behaviors that you want your dog to continue to do. So now that was kind of a recap of how to get in control of your dog and how to positively reinforce things with your dog. Today, I wanted to hit biting. We ended the last episode last week, Sunday, we got through barking, and I just started talking about biting. And I wanted to now continue on that conversation. So I talked about how to reinforce good behaviors. How to discourage poor behaviors is what we really want to emphasize today. And we'll do that using hey, my dog is biting me. So understanding, when people ask me, how do I stop this or that? Every dog's a little different. And so I always love to ask questions of, tell me more about the biting. When does it bite? Does it bite when you're playing and everybody's excited? Well, maybe calm that thing down a little bit and back it so that it's not biting, and then gradually escalate over time. But if you're encouraging it to bite through play, realize you're reinforcing the biting. If it's biting you when you go to sit down on the couch, interesting. Why is it biting you then? And there's all these oddities that we go, well, I don't understand it. Why is it biting me now? Kind of a thing. Realize in some cases, biting is showing dominance over you. That's how they communicate. We don't speak bark. They don't speak English. And so they're trying to communicate with you. And one way to communicate with you is, I don't like what you're doing right now, bite. And it makes sense, doesn't it, when you think through it that way? So what you want to do then is say, no, you're not in charge. I get to do this sitting on the couch, whatever it is. And you don't have influence over me at this point, kind of a thing. So what you want to do is reinforce the non-biting with how do you discourage behaviors? It goes back to that rollover technique. And I'm going to couple it with a grr or a no to its chest. Again, no hurting, no yelling, no hitting. If you want to bite your dog, you can go ahead and do that because you're speaking their language at that time, but I don't think any of us want to do that. And so what you're going to do is, if your dog, this is provided that you've done the rollover and all that kind of stuff, and actually you will see this go away if you do that. But if you still see some episodes where it's biting, you pick up the dog, you roll it over with your hand on its chest, you go, no. Or the ladies out there, I always say grr. For whatever reason, I have noticed over the 10 years that we've been doing this, that low tones work. When you just go, no, it doesn't work the same. When you go, no, not even that low, just a nice firm no with some low tones in it, hand on the chest. Again, I'm not squeezing, I'm not pressing hard or anything like that, but I am being firm. I'm going, no. And when I do that, the dog looks right up at me and goes, oh, you mean business kind of now. I haven't hurt the dog or anything like that, shamed the dog or anything. I'm just showing them what behavior you just did, I don't want you to do. If you don't like the word no, you're sensitive to using a negative term, come up with whatever you want. You can use the word pink and it'll work. And so now, with all the training we've talked about, and I say this over and over again, frequency. So the first time you do it, they have no idea what you're talking about. They can't couple it with anything. They're just saying, you randomly just picked me up and did this. The second time, all the way to the 20th time, they're starting to pick up, oh, when I do this, you do that. And I don't like that. So I'm going to stop doing this. That's the whole approach to training. This is what we do with each other, with our kids and all that kind of stuff. And it actually works for dogs as well. So every time they bite, I want you to pick that dog up, roll it over. You're showing them you're in charge, not the dog, and then do a no to the chest. And then put them back down on the ground. With biting, I don't say encourage them to do it again so you got another opportunity. Let them naturally go through whatever cycle they're doing. Do the no again if need be, and repeat. The more you do it, the more they get it. And then in between all those, reinforce that rollover. So when you're sitting down to watching TV, we all like sitting with our dogs. What I do is when you're sitting with your dog, roll them over on your lap, with belly up, head towards your belly button, feet sticking straight up in the air. And I want you to hold them by their front legs. And I go all the way down to their shoulder, hold them there firm. And again, you're reaffirming that you are in charge of that dog. They're going to wiggle. Hold on. Don't release when they're wiggling. Wait till they stop wiggling. And if you got a really aggressive wiggler, 10 seconds of not wiggling, roll them back over, let them have some play. If this is really frustrating, you're sensing for your dog, give them a break, let them run around, throw the ball around, get some really good energy out, and then come back to the training again. But again, don't overdo the training all at once. Small trainings throughout the day are great. For my own Susie, our trouble child at home that we always talk about on the show, I just did training once when I came home from work. Rolled her over while I was watching a little bit of TV, catching up on the news, held her about 15 minutes, belly up, and within 3 days, she was very responsive to what I was doing, and really, it actually followed me around the house. It was a encouraging thing for her. I like boundaries. I tell me more what to do, kind of a thing. So we addressed biting today and how to deter or discourage behaviors through the rollover technique with a hand to the chest and a no or a pink or whatever you want to call it. Ladies, get the lower tones out and you're going to be successful over time. Be patient. This could take 50 times or 70 times. Don't just keep on doing it. Hang in there and your dog will learn to not do that behavior that you're talking about.
You mentioned when people are sitting on the couch or other, have you heard from other dog owners about like triggers like that? Like there's certain things that people do that the dog starts to bite whenever there's...
Yeah. If the dog has claimed the sofa as their domain, this is where I rest. The alpha of the pack would say, don't you dare sleep in my bed, kind of a thing. And so that bite is actually saying, this is my bed, get out of it. You'll see other dogs do that to each other.
Yeah.
My own, I have 2 dogs. I have 2 kennels. They both are like loaded with beds and stuff like that. One will get into the other ones and you hear it. It's like, they're not fighting in there, but they go, you know, get off my bed. This is my bed, kind of a thing. So it's how they communicate. And all we're doing is using, how do they communicate? We can communicate using some of the same tools that they communicate with each other
in a way that they can understand. Interesting. All right, well, good. That's a little bit on biting. So, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by Petland of Iowa City. They'll be happy to help you. Their counselors are always there to help you, and Ron's there a lot too, and he can personally help you if you ever have questions or things that are going on.
Just ask for them to get me. I come out all the time. And you know, people, I'm not the administrative type person. I'm the person that loves to talk. I'm the social person and love to interact and solve problems. I am that typical guy. The engineering in me wants to solve problems. So come in and I don't claim to know everything. If I don't know it, I'll go, hey, that's a good one. Let me think through it a little bit. But I usually can come up with some solutions, whether it's the techniques that we talked about today, and maybe next week we'll go into some more advanced techniques where we'll actually start using some tools that are out there to help us do some of these things. Ladies, you're having problems with, you know, showing that dominance thing, you know, on the dog with the rollover. I've got some other tools that you might want to bring into your tool belt so that it will help you train your dog and make your dog such a great dog. The last thing I want to say on training, if you are irritated with your dog right now, and I had a customer, I have 2 customers that I'm thinking about this week alone that said, I just am at my wit's end with this dog. And I then coached them. They were doing the basic stuff. I mean, they were doing the right thing, but we talked about some advanced tools, and I go, I almost 99.9% can guarantee you we can solve this with these tools. And so we talked and walked through the use of the tools, and we'll help them get through it. I was in that same boat with Susie, the trouble child. Tiny little dog. She was all of like 3 pounds, but I tell you, I was tearing my hair out what I got left. And I'm like, I don't like this dog. But I also knew I had the commitment of, I'm not going to give my dog away. I'm going to figure this thing out. And I wanted to show that to my kids as well. And so we figured it out. And that's what got me going down this path of training a long time ago to do the basics. If the basics don't work, let's get some advanced tools in here and use those.
Cool. We'll talk about some of that next week then. And the last thing we'll talk about is Orijen. So maybe you could tell us about that. It's a very premium, and when you talk about premium, it's one of the highest priced bags of food you'll find at the Petland of Iowa City. But as you were explaining before we started the show, there's a reason for it, right?
Right. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I looked at the price on these bags, 22.5 pounds or something like that. How much do you think the price is on this? And we competitively price these things.
22-pound bag.
Yeah, 22 pounds. Kind of like a medium-sized bag.
Like 450.
Go up. You're not
Seven-
even close.
75. 100.
Right under 100. You're in the 80s.
Really?
I was like, I mean, that just knocks my socks off too. Here, I own the store, and
Yeah.
I'm like going, holy cow. My general manager, Coy, said, Ron, I have been researching Orijen, and it is something different. It is taken dog food to a whole different level. This is one of those dog foods where I've always said a premium dog food, you're going to feed half as much of that premium dog food compared to one of the ones that you're going to find in the Mart store. You pick anything in the Mart. I don't care if that leading brand out there in the Mart store comes out on a commercial and says, we've gotten the high quality figured out now. They're selling on price, and they will always sell on price in the grocery stores and in the Marts. That's why people buy. They look down and they go, what's the cheapest one I can? If they even think it's premium, they're going to look at what's the cheapest premium I can get. It's always on price. So what do? They decrease the good stuff in there. That's what costs money. And they put in the cheap stuff. The cheap stuff is everything from hair to excessive amounts of crushed bone to the parts of corn that are not digestible. And you didn't hear me say corn is bad. The internet says that, but your dog eats corn and can digest it and get nutrients from it. So corn is a good product. And I know the internet says the opposite. But gosh, look at the science in it, and you're going to go, well, the dog can digest it, so why are we crying about it? Well, I think if the internet looked at the science, it would be the hulls and the shells and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we can't digest that stuff, so let's back off on that. But you know what? It's cheap, so they can say corn is in there. It's something digestible, theoretically, but they put the stuff that isn't in there. Hair is a protein source. Who can digest hair? We can't, nor can our dogs or cat. But yet they'll put those cheaper dog foods and cat foods, they'll put it in there and claim it as protein. So that's what I'm talking about here. Now, Orijen, Orijen, that's a tough one.
Jen, huh?
Jen. Look it up on the internet, and you're going to go, this is something totally different. Not only do they get into a lot of different protein sources, I'm trying to hear if I can get to it. You go way deep in the ingredients list, and they're still talking chicken meal, fish, duck, and the premium foods, they go like 3 deep on this. The poor foods out there, they're maybe 1 deep, and then they're even kind of giving you a sly lie on what they're doing there. Premium foods, they go 3 deep or whatever. This thing, I think we counted like 10 deep, and it's still talking about chicken or beef or whatever. So a really good selection, variety of protein sources. And I mean, they're bringing it out on their website. This is for carnivores, and that's what we have is our dogs and cats. And so it is a great quality there. I'm trying to pull up some other things here. We look at kilocalories. We've found in our store, we're always trying to say, how can we show the difference between a good quality and a bad quality? And there is a lot of different things, but one thing is in the kilocalories. That is digestible calories that your dog or cat can use. The kilocalories that we typically see in the low quality foods, anything in the hundreds, 200s, they're starting to push it in the low quality foods. When you get into premium, you're starting to see 300s, mid 300s. They're pushing the envelope. You're going to feed half as much of that product now. What do you think the kilocalories on this one is? It's pushed up into 470. That is amazing amount. This is a very, very, very digestible product with a ton of calories. So you get what you paid for. You pay that extra price. I get it, man. That's a lot of money. But they've really packed it with a lot of very, very high quality stuff. They're talking about free range chickens and all that kind of stuff. So they're even going to the source and saying, we want to get the products that are best raised, nest laid eggs. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to dog foods, but I've never read that in there.
No.
Nest. That means somebody, I think, is going and picking up these eggs. That's work. We're paying for it, kind of a thing. And I know there's people that are very concerned about that aspect. Here is Orijen is a great food for that. Wild caught fish, which can and cannot be a good thing. There's sometimes when that's not good, but I bet you Orijen has done the research on that and made sure it is a good, healthy thing for the environment, the way they're caught and all. So
I pulled up their website and I saw that they are claiming that they have the highest fresh meat inclusions of any dry dog or cat food.
Isn't that something?
Of anyone.
Right.
So they've got the highest percentage of meat in their food.
It's just some amazing stuff. I'm very.
That does cost money. I mean,
it costs some money.
Yeah, to be able to get that without using the filler, without finding ways to skirt the rules and the FDA and all that stuff. So.
Right. And I'm switching over. Yeah, Dog Food Advisor. I kind of knew what they were going to say. This is their top ranked food, 5 out of 5. I've
never seen a 5 out of 5.
Right. Yeah. Orijen is it, man. They can't find anything to scrutinize in this. And I'm sure they've got a couple of, we heard about this, we heard about that. They're not getting anything. This thing is chock full of
the best stuff you can buy, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Orijen dog food. If you want to try it out, Petland of Iowa City. We are out of time for the show, and it's been an interesting show as always, Ron. And these pups, I think they've tuckered themselves out, huh?
Yeah, I just noticed.
Sounds like it's gotten quiet.
I'm not seeing them chewing on the cables in here.
They're going to sleep well. It was a lot of fun. The beautiful Shiba Inu and also a schnoodle. Here in the studio, Ron Salzrud's been here from Petland of Iowa City with some great advice. As he said, check out our podcast page. You can review past episodes, have some fun with that, and we'll be back next week with more on AM 800 KXIC Iowa City. This has been the Positive Petland Show. Bye.